Hello again, everyone. My name is Ryan Gest, Elections Data Fellow here at Decision Desk HQ. We're coming up on another round of poll closings at 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and I'm here to take you through which races to watch, as well as which metrics our race call team will be factoring in to our projections as the night goes on. The polls will close at 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast in 3 Appalachian states, North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia. The 2 most high-profile races are the Senate contests in North Carolina and Ohio. Republican Senator Richard Burr is retiring in North Carolina, leaving the GOP to defend an open seat, and Republican nominee U.S. Congressman Ted Budd faces former Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court, Democratic nominee Cheri Beasley. Decision Desk HQ currently rates the battle as lean Republican, although Beasley, much like Val Demings in Florida, has exceeded expectations in polling at times, and currently trails Budd by less than 3% in our polling average. Do keep in mind, however, that 2020 Democratic Senate candidate Cal Cunningham led by over 3 points in our polling average before losing by over 1.5 points. Keep in mind that Beasley is likely to jump out to an early lead based off of the Democratic-leaning absentee and early vote ballots that'll arrive first out of the urban areas in the state, while then later on, as the Election Day vote trickles in out of the more GOP-dominant rurals, Budd will start to narrow that gap. Meanwhile, Ohio is not a state that has been especially competitive the last few cycles, but this is yet another open seat that the GOP has to defend as Republican incumbent Senator Rob Portman is retiring. J.D. Vance, the Republican nominee, has significantly underperformed in both polling and fundraising. Meanwhile, U.S. Congressman Tim Ryan was probably the only candidate the Democrats could field that would make this race interesting, given his working-class, protectionist Rust Belt appeal, though he still faces an uphill climb, given that Ohio voted for Trump by 8% 2 years ago and is considered to be trending toward the right. DDHQ rates the contest as lean Republican. Something to watch for is the margin in this race, as it could be an early preview of 2 other key Senate races later tonight, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. There are 3 U.S. House races worth keeping an eye on at this hour as well. Longtime Democratic incumbent G.K. Butterfield is retiring in North Carolina's 1st Congressional District. In the 2022 contest between Sandy Smith and State Senator Don Davis has gone back and forth between lean Democrat and toss-up. Smith swung this district 20 points to the right as the Republican nominee in 2020, and continuing population decline in the district's majority black counties will be key to her chances here. This is the sort of district that Republicans should win in a really favorable environment for the Republican Party nationwide. On the other side of things, Ohio's Republican-held 1st Congressional District is rated a toss-up. Incumbent Congressman Steve Chabot is not as moderate a candidate as the GOP would probably like to have in a district that broke hard against Trump in 2020 and was redistricted several points more Democratic. It voted for Trump by 3% in 2020 and would have voted for Biden by 9 points under the new lines. To make matters worse for the incumbent, this district is high education attainment, a demographic that could turn out in droves for Democrats after the Supreme Court's abortion ruling earlier this year. If Democrat Greg Landsman pulls this one off, it could be an early sign that enough ancestral Republican well-educated voters are backing Democratic candidates in light of the Dobbs decision and potentially save the Democrats from major losses tonight. Finally, Ohio's 9th Congressional District poses an example of a Democratic-held seat that should flip if Republicans really are to gain 20 to 30 seats in the House tonight. The race has hovered around lean Republican and toss-up in DDHQ's forecast, as 30-year incumbent Democratic Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur is running for re-election in her gerrymandered Toledo-based district that voted for Biden by nearly 20 points in 2020, but got redistricted to favor Trump by 3%. The good news, though, for Democrats here is that J.R. Majewski has been embroiled in controversies, and Kaptur is an overperformer. And with that, back to our team of experts in the studio.